Hey everybody, welcome back to their small biz artist video. I had meant to do release this last week and yesterday, but life happened and I just totally forgot, honestly. Um, so real quick, this is I think the previous week that I did not record or post. It was just really busy and let me just focus on getting things done because as I do mention, this channel is kind of secondary in terms of overall priorities. It's just an accountability thing for me. So I don't put it at the forefront of things I must do, you know. It's not an end all be all for my small business. It's just keeping myself accountable and focused, which honestly the past 2 weeks of not doing this, I feel like we're both good and bad. So we'll talk about what happens when you're just overwhelmed with everything when you have a small business, especially when it's a side business and it's not your main thing. Um, it's definitely a challenge. So basically, what I've been doing is just focusing on the big things. Um, I will sit down and say, okay, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I have a lot of things to do. What is overwhelming me, basically? And sometimes it's stuff out of my control. Like we had taxes to do, which there are just some stressful things with that, and everything's fine, thankfully. But it's just stressful. You don't know. I kind of estimate things with that. It went a lot better than I expected. It's still a stress, right? Um, and then there's my big projects, and I kind of felt a little stuck in a bad way, and that's stressful because that's my main focus, right? Is getting these comics and other products out. Um, just a lot of things that sometimes just fall on your lap all at once, and when that happened, I was like, okay, let me just kind of stop and look at what needs to be focused on, which was part of why I didn't do a Small Biz Artist Weekly plan and chat with me. And then from there, I'm like, let me just focus on these tasks that I put here for each day and make, find a way to basically make that easier to actually do. And when I got stuck with one of the comics, like, okay, what am I stuck on? And then I made sure that I kind of changed up my tasks a bit to make myself unstuck, if that made sense. And part of it was um, I need to get the comic covers done for the month so I can start advertising them. And I was feeling overwhelmed because I really wanted to get pages done, but I thought I kind of had to pause and say, no, the promotion is important. If I have nothing to promote with, I can't continue plans for the rest of the year. So I did get the line art done for for my web comic. I got 2 sketch comics done for my comic strip newsletter thing, and I'm working on the cover pencils, I guess you'd call them, even though it's digital, pencils for the main comic, which is the Pumpkin Prince. So once I kind of figured that out, I felt a little better. I kind of just redirected what I need to do. Instead of doing comic pages, I did the covers, and I also reminded myself that I can get the cover stuff done a lot faster than the pages because there's less thought going. This is going to sound bad, but there's less thought going into them because there's no story structure to follow through and on that page. That makes sense. It still is a lot of work to make a good layout, make a good design, and make it look good. But that is much easier to do for a full page than it is for a sequential story in a way that, because a sequential story, every panel needs to make sense and the flow needs to be good. And sometimes if it doesn't work out, you have to redo a couple panels and it can just be a lot of mental work. And that's kind of what I realized was sort of not draining me, but kind of making me feel burnt out because when you're on a page and you're stuck with how that story flow should go, um, it makes you feel burnt out because you're not making any progress. And if you don't make any progress, it just doesn't feel good, you know? That's not what anybody wants for their business or their project or anything. So I decided to just focus on the covers, which would long term be a better idea. And I think last week I finished the line art for one of them, and then started working on some character concepting to finish the Pumpkin Prince cover. And I finished that last night, which was Sunday the 15th. And I felt so much better. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel better going into this now. I have things solidified. I don't feel stuck anymore. Now I can move on. So I'm very happy with that. And now I can finish the cover because of how I laid it out. I wanted her to be like, or this new character to be kind of mysterious and stuff. But I'm happy with the design. I'm happy with the progress I've been making. So today is technically an admin day, so I'm kind of just using this as a catch-up day for the week. And I need to actually plan my week because I did not do that yet. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing today. And overall, I think that's made the last 2 weeks of kind of being nervous and kind of feeling overwhelmed a lot easier. I gave myself tasks that were still related to my comics, but I made the tasks more focused on one thing versus get all these pages done. And I'm still almost done with the goal of how many pages I wanted to get done for the Pumpkin Prince this month, or for this quarter total. Anyway, I'm almost at 20 pages, which is pretty good. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely a challenge to get into that rhythm of being okay with changing up your plans, especially to make them more manageable. Another thing I did was, I've talked about this a while ago, I think, like meal prepping and all that stuff. Because a lot of, I still need to eat and clean the house and things like that. So I've also been trying to bulk do things. So if I'm in the kitchen waiting for the water to boil for like spaghetti or something, I can do a couple other things while I'm waiting for that, like 10-15 minutes, and then get dinner going, and then there's more being done at once basically. And it is exhausting because I am doing more, but long term I'm feeling less overwhelmed because I have less in my mind because I just got the kitchen cleaned up. Right? I don't have to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, did it get cleaned up? It didn't. I still have this to do, and kind of doing. Is it batch? Maybe it's called batching. I think it's batching, like batching tasks. If I'm in the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I clean the litter box for the cat, clean the floors, clean the counter, refill the soap dispenser, all that, like 5 minutes out of my day, and then I don't have to worry about it for the next 24 hours, basically, or 12 hours for the cat, stuff like that. Or the soap dispenser doesn't have to be worried about for another week or two. It's like little things like that I've been starting to do more of, and that's worked out really well. I'm feeling less stressed. I'm not quite there yet. There's still a couple things I need to do. I need to vacuum my office. I need to. Actually, it is. Looking around, it is actually a lot better than I realized. It's just little things now. Vacuuming the office, vacuuming the floors, taking today's trash night, so that's just not a big deal. We don't really have a lot of trash. It's like one bag a week, maybe, if that. So things are getting done, right? And it's building up to a point where I'm not as overwhelmed anymore. So that's good. And there are still things I need to do for the business. Obviously, I need to do taxes this week, like state taxes or local taxes or whatever. And product I need to work on today. There are small business things that are still on my plate that need to get done, but because I'm batching things I'm making today a catch-up day, it's not. And I am, wow, I can't talk. And I am reprioritizing a lot of these things too. It's helping. I am seeing good changes with the business. Like I know I've said it a couple times. I'm doing marketing education, and I'm seeing a lot of positive changes in my Etsy shop because I'm trying to focus on making sure that Etsy's bringing in the customer more than I am, because that's what they like to see with their shop. So right now, Etsy's bringing in 60% of my visits, and the Etsy search is up for this month. And me bringing in the customers on my own is actually going down, which is, as weird as it is, that's what Etsy prefers for shops. And then as time goes on and I can start bringing in more of my own visits, and then as it grows, basically, and it won't matter. And because I'm still a small shop, the more Etsy is doing for my shop, the better in the long run, because that means I'm setting myself up, or setting up my Etsy shop for success on its own platform, and it's making its money's worth. That way Etsy's like, oh, we're spending money on ads to get things for you, and it's working for your shop. We're going to keep doing it. It's the whole thing. I just been learning more how the platform works, and it's kind of crazy that it's just crazy how it's set up. Love it or hate it, it is what it is. And I am looking to explore opening a Shopify, because they've changed a lot of things to make a lot of that easier. So yeah. But anyway, I'm working on a lot of that as well for this week. So today's going to be a busy catch-up day, and I also want to rearrange my work area. I don't know why I have my Kindle here because I've been reading some marketing books on it, but the next marketing books I want to buy are going to be physical. I don't know why my Kindle's out. I need to move it. I need to kind of clean up this area. So I'm going to put my spare laptop here again, so that way I can actually give myself a focus to just work on Etsy tags or whatever else on that laptop, because it's very very minimalist, I guess, in terms of what I have on it and what I can do with it. There's no distractions, and I believe I mentioned this in another video that it worked out really well to just sit down and write on it, and I could just get things done without any distractions. So I think that needs to be done for the week, and I don't think I need to get it done today, because I want to focus on more priority focused things, like getting my week planned out, which I already know what I need to do for the week. I just want to write it down to myself accountable, record that, all that good stuff, and catch up on tasks for making product, and saying a lot. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. I'm not tired. I'm just, the windows are open and I'm kind of relaxed with the fresh air. So my brain's just like, I don't want to think right. Anyway, I want to just kind of focus the priorities to catch up on a few things for today. And yeah. But I am overall happy with the progress. Like a lot of the tasks you saw me putting down here, I don't know why everything's off center now. I was just like, whatever. Recording like this, it is what it is. I did get most of those tasks done. I did, like I said, reprioritize what specifically was being done for the comic. I do need to get that indie podcast or show, whatever, going. I have a tentative date for the end of this month. I just have to get a couple people on to talk to you about it. And yeah, pretty much it. So overall, the past 2 weeks have been a little hectic, a little overwhelmed, but we're prioritizing and refocusing on what really needs to be done has helped feel less overwhelmed. And I think I'm very proud of myself for being able to do that. It wasn't easy, because it means letting go of certain things, like letting go of getting pages done. And that was hard because I didn't want to, but I had to. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you feel overwhelmed, hopefully it gave you some perspective that it's okay. And it's okay to reprioritize things you need to do for the week for your small business and personal life, and if certain tasks have to take a back burner and you have to bring other tasks to the forefront instead, that's okay. Because in the long run, as long as those things you're doing are related to your goals, it's okay to rearrange when certain things are being done for those goals. That's totally fine because it will balance out as you work on it and things, it'll work out. Just don't not do them. Just shift to when they're being done. All right, so thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments or anything like that, leave them down below. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next and chat with me.